All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the Be Healthy and Thrive podcast. My name is Brianna here, and with me, I have two of my favorite people, Danielle and Angie, and we are all just lover of essential oils, and that's what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about why everyone should use and love essential oils as well. So welcome, ladies. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So maybe I'll just have you guys just introduce yourself and really just kind of share who you are, what you do, where you're from, and anything else you want to share. So maybe Danielle, do you want to go first?
Sure. So my name is Danielle, and I've been a part of this oily community and this oily journey for a little over a year. I have a nearly 4-year-old daughter, a husband. I study part-time. I have a full-time job and a business on the side called the Powder Room, where I do makeup and massage and skincare advice, and the essential oils are just incorporated into that, and it's just been the perfect fit.
Yeah, so exciting. Yes. Okay, well, Angie, what about you?
Okay, so I'm Angie O'Toole. I have 3 precious little children. The oldest is 5, and then 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. I've been married to my husband for a little over 10 years now, and he is a chiropractor. So he is a big pivotal role in me even using essential oils and being on this health journey that I've been on for a number of years now. So my background is in accounting and event planning, but I do work completely from home now, both with the essential oils and education on that. And then I've helped my husband start 3 clinics for his business, and I also do some natural birth coaching, and can share more about that another time. But love the oils, love being invited to speak with you, Brianna.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is so exciting because Angie's actually the one, well, her and Joe, her husband, that really introduced me to doTERRA essential oils. That they're from Iowa, and so you're like, how did someone from the Cayman Islands, Iowa meet? It was very random, but it was not at the same time. So yeah, I was at the stage where I was thinking about incorporating essential oils into my health coaching practice, and I had heard about doTERRA, and then someone said that you had emailed a bunch of people that when you were coming to visit your sister on island, and it was just perfect timing. Then I met with you, and I was like, I just want to do this now. And you're like, okay. And it was just a perfect fit because I think we both didn't just love health things. I think even just our sense of our faith and our morality and very like-minded people. So very grateful for you. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you sending those emails. So maybe you guys can just share a little bit about how you got started with essential oils and just what kind of sparked your interest in using them, which, we all use doTERRA, but kind of even your journey with doing that. So maybe Angie, you can go first.
Okay. Just cut me off if I am too long-winded at any point. So I was introduced to the oils a number of years ago when my husband was in chiropractic school. So we're probably around 8 years ago. And was very skeptical. I was probably the biggest skeptic. And I actually left the class that I attended, and there was no mention of science. There was no mention of research. And I was very turned off to the idea of using essential oils at that time. And they weren't really mainstream at that time. Like by now, a lot of people have heard of oils, essential oils, but then it was just kind of up and coming. And fast forward about 4 years after I went to that first class, we were hearing more about the oils, and we were opening our first chiropractic clinic. And my husband knew that he really wanted to engage all of the senses when someone would come into the clinic. And really, the reason that we got into using the oils is because we knew that it was a non-toxic way to engage the sense of smell in lieu of maybe candles or some kind of a plug-in or air freshener or something. And that is all that I ever thought that I would do with oils, is just have a diffuser, drop the oils in, plug it in at the clinic, and use it for that purpose. So that really is what started my journey. And so I had started out with this kit that we got for our clinic, opened up the bottles, found some amazing ones, and I'll talk about them later when we get into the details, the fun stuff there. But really opened some of them up and was like, oh, this is awesome. And then opened others up and realized I would never in a million years want to walk into a building that smelled like oregano or smelled like, some of these other oils. And so I started researching what can these be used for. I bought them. I want to do my due diligence and find out how I can use them. And so that really sparked for me a journey into looking into more of the medicinal purposes, if you will, or the health and therapeutic benefits of the oils. And through that time, there's just so much that I can share of, things that they've helped me with our children and myself and my husband and now patients and things. But I started there and then got into using them more for the emotional benefits after having our son, who will be 4 in January. I had some postpartum depression issues and was just having some anxiety with our business having started up and my role full-time there at the time, and really started looking to essential oils as a way to interact chemically in my body on the emotional level. And through that, just found a lot of relief from my symptoms and just started finding joy in my life again. So I don't know how much more you want, or if you want me to go into detail on that, but that's really kind of my process with it. It was just like, I want it to smell nice. Now I want to use it in place of other medicines and things I've been using. And now I'm going to use it for more of my emotional issues, and just seen so many benefits in all of those areas.
Oh, that's so great. And I love how you just kind of shared that it's a journey, like a journey of, I don't really care about this at all, actually. And I'm going to look into it wow, I really love it. And now what I do is share about them with people and educate them, right? And that's kind of similar to how I was. I think they were just a great idea at the time, but I wasn't properly educated on them. And that's kind of why I really loved doTERRA, and even like meeting you, and just like the idea of that. It is not just about getting these pretty little oils. It's about using them and actually taking the benefits of those things. And so I've just tried, my best to kind of model that as well, because it's just empowering. And we're kind of taught how to use medicine, like traditional medicine. Take this 2 times a day, take this, but we're not taught like, hey, take this oil X, Y, and Z times and for this, when we should be. And so I love that you are all about that as well.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I loved as well when I was introduced to doTERRA myself, is, at this kind of pivotal moment where we're trying to decide, what are we going to diffuse in this clinic? My husband met a friend that I think you guys have all met now, Camille, and she was just all about the education. And I loved that because my previous experience of the class that I had gone to was very, it just seemed like a lot of like old wives' tales, oh, use this oil in this way, slap it on your feet and you're going to be good to go, without explanation of why, how does your body process the oil if you put it on your feet? And why should I use the oils in the way that you're describing? So I think that's fun that you also had that experience. Education is so pivotal.
Right. Yeah. So good. Thank you for sharing. Danielle, what about you?
So you actually introduced me to doTERRA. And that was September last year. So 11 months now. But I was basically tagging along to the class with my older sister. I didn't go to the class with an intention of incorporating the oils into my life as I do now. So I think that's the beautiful thing about essential oils, is that you just kind of, you grow with them, or they grow with you. And when I attended the class, I was fascinated by them. I kind of had some prior experience, and I actually worked with oils in a spa for 4 years at the Ritz-Carlton, actually, and didn't really realize the power behind them. We'd use them for aromatherapy, or just incorporated them into our massage treatments. But I had no idea how they affected our bodies and how great they are. So I'm really grateful that they're a part of my life and they're helping so many people. My friends, my family, my daughter is obsessed with her little roller bottles and rolling them on her feet. And I just think it's a beautiful thing to share with other people. For instance, like my mother is now calling me about vetiver essential oil that she's researched for sleep for herself and for my nephew. So it's just so far reaching, and I can't speak enough to how much it's impacted our lives positively.
Yeah, so fun. Yeah, and it's so great because I think too, like knowing your experience too, you know, with using them, and now you know, like want to know about, okay, what's actually happening behind. Sometimes I come to you, I'm like, so how do I do this? You know, and you're like, well, this is how we do top notes and bass. Anyways, that's for another day, blending. But you know, just like the idea of like that, you're right, you grow with it, you know, and I think that's what stops people sometimes. It's in anything, right? I don't know everything. How can I even start? But it's like buy one oil and use that over and over, and then you find another one and learn about it. And so we were just talking about that today, Danielle. And so I think that's just really great that you said that you grow with the oils and they grow with you, you know.
And a lot of it too is research and
right.
wanting to learn yourself about them. Not saying that you have to do the research completely on your own, but I've definitely sort of delved into it with our resource books. And the other thing we were speaking about earlier today was how much we learn about the oils from each other. You know, your experience and my experience with one particular oil or with the way you use it differs so much from the way that I would think to use it. So I think that that's a useful way as well to learn and continue to grow with the oils.
Yeah. Completely agree.
So intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And I think for, you know, we've been using oils now for about 4.5 years. And even that, and using them now daily for so many different things, and just constantly finding, you know, there's new ways that I didn't realize I could use Melaleuca for this. And now I'm using it this way as well. And that's so fun to hear that you're all having that same experience.
Yeah. We're going to have a Christmas oil party soon. We're just going to have oils and we'll eat too, but
just lie down.
I just lay down.
I'm jealous.
Sometimes I'm just going to say this is that Danielle was teaching the aroma touch class one time. And I loved it because it's like so nice when you can just sit and be taught too. But, and I had like a pain in my foot and I was like, Danielle, could you like massage this? And she's like, you have so many toxins there. And immediately when she said the word toxins, I thought I was just sore. I was like, oh no, what do I need to do? What oil do I need to put on there? Because it was just like, oh no, you know, so it's just, you're right. Like, I think her understanding and her experience as a massage therapist, like Branda, that's not just aches and pains. Like you have a toxic load in your feet from stress over, so you need to get rid of it. It's like, oh wow, you're right. And so even, you know, we all have experiences in life, in our health, that we can bring to the table and then use oils for. And so I just really love that too as well. So, so how, like, okay, so I know, you know, with doTERRA, most people would say you're a user, you're a sharer, and then you're a builder. You want to build a business. So how did you guys go from like, I just really want to use these, which is totally fine. We're all about people using the oils, to, hey, I want to share these, to, hey, I want to build a business with them. So like kind of what sparked that for you? Maybe Danielle, you can go first.
Sure. So it wasn't long after I joined as a user where I decided to, or I was curious about building. And sharing the oils has been a natural thing for me with doTERRA. I've shared samples with so many people. And I just feel that, I guess my purpose, maybe that's not the right word, but I just feel the need to share an oil with someone, especially if they're expressing a concern or they have sleep seems to be the most common issue. So I'm just often sharing, Serenity or lavender or vetiver, and it's just natural, really. And you explained a lot of the benefits about, building the business, and my intention with it is for the sharing and the building, for that to just sort of pay for my oils. So, through my loyalty rewards program and sharing it with other people, just the oils basically paying for themselves. That's really what led me to wanting to build a business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so good. And I love that because, you have people who were, Angie, like this is her main, well, you do the clinics too. You do a lot of things, Angie, but like that's your kind of your main thing at the moment-ish. I feel like entrepreneurs never have a main thing though. So, but to some of our friends like Camille and Jason who are doing it full time, both of them doing it full time. So there's different levels. And I think some people get overwhelmed or scared, but even if it's just like, I love these oils so much and I'm going to naturally want to get a lot of them because I use them and I see the benefit. So I'm going to share about them so I can get them for free. And then you're just blessing others as you get blessed by receiving, you're blessing others, right? So it motivates that. I really love that. Yeah. What about you, Angie?
Awesome. Great. So like I had shared, I came from the place of pure skepticism about oils to then sharing them. And I'm like not a salesperson. So the idea of selling something to me is just intimidating. I don't want to be that person. I want to be people's friends. I want to keep my friends, all of that. So I used doTERRA oils for around 2 years, a little bit longer than 2 years before I decided to actually take the opportunity and really pursue the business. And I would say before that 2-year mark, though, I was just naturally sharing them because people would say, hey, you said your kid was sick on Sunday. Like, why are you here at the grocery store today, Monday? Well, we were oiling up. We went to the chiropractor. Like, they were seeing, okay, these things, why are you better so soon? Why are you not having these issues or whatever? So we had a lot of that going on and people just asking me, especially about that. So that's where it kind of was getting my attention. Like, okay, if people are asking me this, and it sounds like Danielle, you're similar, like, oh, I'll give you a sample of that. Oh, I would love to tell you about On Guard and how you can use that to boost your immune system or, all of these things. It kind of came to this point for me where I was looking to get out of working at our clinics on a daily basis. We were, we had a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old and, it was a little bit crazy being at work every single day and I wanted to be at home. And so I actually had been doing a side business very minimally, but not lots of hours per week, but on natural birth coaching. And it's still a passion of mine. And it's still something in the next 18 months, I'm really planning on launching that out as more of an official business to help support women in that way. But I kind of had this pivotal moment where I was deciding between this natural birth coaching route or doTERRA from a business standpoint, because I wanted to work completely from home. And we just did not have the income. In this early stages of starting businesses, you're putting a lot of overhead out the door before you're receiving enough, to make that. So I had to do something. And I also wanted to, because I wanted to have that adult interaction and, be expanding personal development and my learning. So doTERRA won out for me. And it didn't take long to make that decision at that point in time. But really for me, with the oils having helped me through that postpartum depression and that anxiety, I found that was a big part of what I was sharing with women. And I just love, even today, 2+ years from that point of deciding I'm going to share essential oils as a business. When I get to share with women, about how they can use oils like Elevation or Wild Orange to help uplift their emotions when they're facing those depressive moments. It's just amazing to me to be able to share that and to have people see the results that come from it. So that was probably one of the biggest draws for me, is I just felt like I can help every single family member of any given family, whether it's a family of one or a family of 10. And I can empower them in these ways by getting these tools into their home, and it can help them in so many ways in their life. And really, my husband and I would just have such a passion for helping people with their health in natural ways. So it just fit for me. And it's been a complete journey. I wouldn't recommend it to every single person. Like you have to treat it like a business. You can't just think people all of a sudden are going to start coming out of their homes and walk into yours and asking to buy essential oils from you. But the more you put yourself out there as a resource, and the more you sample and share, like you were talking about, Danielle, people will look to you, and it's just a joy. It really is a joy to be able to get these simple tools into people's homes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, I was talking with Danielle earlier today about how when you are just consistently sharing the oils because you love them, because you're like, hey, I didn't know I can do this with that. It's like people start to see you as an expert, even though you may not feel that way. People will come to you and say, hey, what do I do about this? And it's weird because sometimes as you're saying, you do have to treat it as a business, in the sense you do need to be very intentional. But just by doing it out of the love of your heart and just wanting to help people, people will come too, which is always surprising to me, because I have this mentality in my business and in life. I have to work hard at everything I do. Like I shouldn't just receive something, which is not true. And so I think it's just beautiful that, people can see your passion, can see, how the results as well. Not just like we're just obsessed with oils for the sake of being obsessed with oils, because we literally see the passion of it. And I love doTERRA's name, Gift of the Earth. And I just think that it is a gift. And there was a period of my life earlier this year, I guess, so that wasn't that long ago, that I wasn't sharing as much because a lot of shifts in my life. And I would still come to my little oils over here each night and be like, which one am I going to use? And I would be immediately filled with like, I'm so grateful for these in this season of my life. That like, when this is over, I got to get back out there, because it just feels wrong to actually hold it to yourself. It feels like I'm hiding this great secret that everyone should know and use and love, right? So I love that we're all on the same page with that.
Yeah. And I think even for me, and what I love to encourage women in, if they have a desire to have a business of any kind, whatever it is you're passionate about, number one, you need to be passionate about it or you're not going to stick with it. But also for me, looking at the postpartum issues that I had after our second child was born, and the weight oils helped me get through, and then sharing them, and then through this most recent pregnancy, and my, our baby's now, I think, 16, 17 months old. But sharing doTERRA, I was actually in a very intensive business building season when our youngest Juliet was born. And I really see that being intentional in those ways and really pushing myself and sharing through even that postpartum time really helped me to ward off maybe some things that I would have had to been facing again. And of course, I can't definitively say that I would have had the postpartum depression had I not been sharing the oils, but having that time around where I hadn't had it yet the previous times was just such an amazing thing for my life. And I just hope to inspire people to like keep pressing on. Having a baby is tough for sure, and you need to take the time with your family, but it can also be a way that you can continue to just live your life and bring your children in with that, versus getting self-centric and maybe having those down feelings that can often come during that season.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, and it's just so empowering to do something you are passionate about, for one, but do something that is literally changing other people's lives as well, and their health and life. And it's almost like sometimes I sit in disbelief, like I get to do this even for fun, not even just as a career, and I have fun with it, but I'm actually impacting people's lives. Like this is crazy. I'm not used to a job or that mentality. So I love that. Even what you're saying, in times of those seasons of our lives, to push through in the things we're passionate about, because they keep giving us meaning when we feel like we might not as much have that. So based on all of this, we're going to get to our favorite oils soon, but why do you think, like if you could think of one main reason why people should start using essential oils, and maybe even particularly doTERRA, since that's the one we use, what would that be? Angie, you want to go first?
Okay. Yes. So one reason, oh my goodness. Okay. So first of all, I love doTERRA because of so many reasons, and we could be here all night, but they do outside testing of all of their oils, which is huge because in the industry, it's a rare thing to find that. And a lot of times what you see printed on your label isn't necessarily what's in the bottle. And so I will even preface everything Danielle and I will share about with the oils and the ways that we use them. Like, we're probably not recommending that you go buy a cheap oil on Amazon and use them in the same way. For one thing, it could be a health detriment, but also you just simply can't expect the results that you can from a pure oil that's been sourced from the place in the world where it grows indigenously. So love that. So doTERRA specifically in that. And yeah, I think that one of the biggest reasons that I see is people detoxifying their life and just removing toxic load, whether it's, common things that maybe you reach for each and every day, like toothpaste, or I know I've done health coaching for women, and they've told me I use Advil or Tylenol preventatively every day so that I don't get headaches. Preventatively taking 3 Advil in the morning so that they don't get a headache. And so you're just adding, if you're doing that every single day, you're adding a lot to your body that your body has to process. And a lot of things that aren't very natural to your body, that's not even going to work as well for you if you really need it and use it, because your body just becomes kind of immune to that. So laundry detergents, all kinds of other things. So that's the biggest thing that I see, is just the toxic load component. And I'm sorry, Danielle, if I stole yours.
Yeah. You can have the same one.
It is pretty much the same one. I chose it personally, after doing the research and getting more familiar with doTERRA, because of the research behind doTERRA, the purity, the quality of the oils. I was actually telling Brianna earlier today that someone said in a Facebook forum locally, where can I find essential oils at an affordable price in Cayman? And I said, in response to that, unfortunately, you can't. You can't walk into our local grocery store and expect to find the same quality of oil that we do in doTERRA. And I'm not bashing a particular brand. I'm just saying that the research that doTERRA invests into their oils is unparalleled to the other ones that we see in our market here. And similar to, or the same actually as Angie, I was in a room earlier today where someone had just sprayed Lysol into the air to disinfect in the bathroom. And I've reduced so much of that in my life, in my home and in my personal space as well, that I've become sensitive to it. So recognizing that by removing those unnatural and toxic air fresheners and replacing them with these natural alternatives is so much better for your system. And it's just something I really encourage everyone else to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so good. And it's very similar for me as someone who's really, as a health, mainly in my health coaching at the time, I was telling people what to eat well, how to eat well, exercise, stress, and sleep. But then I started to learn along the way too the importance of what we put in and on our bodies and what we smell, because at the end of the day, it's all going to come in. And since our skin is our biggest organ, it was just like, it was almost a way for me. Like, it felt like I want to be walking more integrity with this message. And so let me try these. And at the moment, it was out of desperation. I had tendonitis in my wrist and it wasn't getting any better. And nothing had worked. And I knew at that point, though, that I didn't want to load it with chemical stuff. So I was like, let me just let it run its course. But it was a long time coming until I got some Deep Blue or, that just really helped the pain in so many ways. And just within weeks, if not days. And I just started to like wake up and saying, what is this? Why is this happening? And why is it happening so fast? How come I'm not having any adverse reactions to this? And I know there are certain oils applied to the skin will have adverse reactions, but I think for me, it was just a matter of like, I need to start walking in integrity more. And I want to also share as I'm doing this. I didn't wait to like have it all figured out. And there are still many moments people ask me questions, pretty much you guys probably have the same. You don't know the answer to it, but it's not about knowing all the answers. It's about saying, hey, I'll find out for you because I care about your health. And so, like very similar to you guys, it's just like, once I realized that, I started right away, and it's just fun. It is just fun to learn about the oils. Like, I can spend hours just reading about them, finding out where lemon came from and actually how it's distilled versus how rose is distilled. And not distilled, but I just think that it's just so powerful, and people need to explore it. And it's going to take a little bit of research. It's going to take a little time. And it's not as simple as just use this for this in everybody's case, right? We have conditions where kids should use oils differently. Pregnant women should use oils differently. And I just think it's almost giving people what I'm trying to do with whether with coaching or the oils is to give people back the power that has been stripped from them, from the food industry, from the healthcare industry, where we're just being told what we should do. And most often that is not right. And it's not right for us as individuals. And so I think people just really are starting to realize that. And we're just there to kind of journey with them to say, hey, it's your body, it's your life, empower yourself to know. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And I think one comment that I have is there are so many great resources out there. I know Danielle mentioned a few minutes ago, delving into these resource books. I mean, there's some really great ones, and you can get in touch really with any of us and ask us what those ones are. And then I know we have a couple of different Facebook groups for our customers. I think you guys have one specifically for Canaan, and then the Oils International one. So great to just have a forum where you can go and you can ask questions of, hey, my 12-year-old has this going on, how should I apply and what oil should I apply? Or, this popped up last night and, is lavender a good oil for this? I have it at home. So that's the biggest thing, is just getting oils into your home. I know I teach classes often, and I just want to I just want to give everybody 10 oils as they leave, but you're going to want it in your house when you have something pop up that you need it for. You might not see the need to have this oil right now, but within the next couple of weeks, more than likely something will pop up in your life that you could use this for, in place of something that might be more toxic for you and more expensive potentially for you.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say on that, Danielle? No. But yeah, just in regards to, the resources, I'm pretty sure Danielle and I sometimes go back and forth. Someone asks us a question, or even, I'll ask Angie, I have, they ask me this, what do you think? And so, and I actually light up when someone asks me a question, and I'm pretty sure you guys feel the same, because they're interested. Like, hey, what do I do for this? And you're like, yes, it's like candy in a candy store. You're like, I would love to answer your question, even if I don't know it fully right now. And so we are really passionate. So I definitely think just know that with us, there is always education. There's always support. It actually saddens my heart. I was telling Danielle this earlier, like it saddens my heart when people actually even have doTERRA essential oils and they don't know how to use them. Regardless of if they're on our team or not. It's just like, did you not know you could do this? It just breaks my heart. And so we're really passionate about that as well. So can you guys just share a little bit as we wrap up? 1 to 3, however much you want to share, of your favorite oils and why they're your favorite oils.
Narrowing it down. Wow. Okay, I'll just jump in real quick. And I don't know if you want to tag team like every other or whatever, but I mentioned this one, I think earlier, but the oil that really helped me through that season of the postpartum depression was the oil Elevation. And doTERRA has called it their joyful blend. And I actually have it diffusing right now in my diffuser behind me here. But I just found, and again, speaking to the power of the oils, even just from breathing it in, you know, that chemically your brain interacts with it, with your olfactory bulb, and sends signals really to light up the part of your brain to be happy. So I would just take a drop of it and rub it in my hands. And I still do this if I'm feeling down or I need to wake up or whatever, and inhale, do some deep breaths. But a noticeable difference. I mean, even within 60 seconds, you do that and you feel so much more energized. Or put it in your diffuser. Or I'm wearing a diffuser necklace. So yes, I am the crazy oil lady. Everyone, like oils everywhere. But yeah, Elevation is one. If you have any kind of struggles with feeling down, or you're just not yourself, or you want to have more joy in life, I would highly recommend to get that oil. Even if that's the only oil that you start with, get that one into your home.
What about you, Danielle?
That's probably the hardest question you've asked me this evening.
Yeah, I knew it would be.
I would probably say frankincense if I had to narrow it down to one. To me, it's the most precious oil, and this is a story I've actually shared with Brianna before, but my grand aunt was in a stroke-induced coma earlier in the year, and the doctors had actually said that she wasn't going to come out of the coma, that she wasn't going to recover, and this is just a testament to the power of the oils. And I'm not saying that this was the only factor in her waking from it, but I mean, we used it every day, you know, on her temples, and she's awake now and she's doing better and she's able to converse with us. And I think that frankincense, you know, it goes all the way back to the Bible, right? But even before my grandma, I treated it like liquid gold. But just to me, because it supports you on a cellular level, that's one of the most powerful and most useful oils in my arsenal.
Yeah, so good.
So that was tough.
I know. So I'm going to say On Guard, because I use at least a bottle a month, and I know that's intense. I don't even know if all of it's samples, but On Guard was one of the first ones I started to use. It's the protective blend and really help boost your immune system. And I was working full time, starting my business, and sleep was hard. And so I lost my voice one day, and someone had given me something, but then it was around the same time meeting you, and I was just like, do you have any help with my immune system at the moment? And On Guard really helped. And as I learned more and as I just kept using it daily, I noticed that colds became less frequent, or I bounced back quicker. I noticed that when I traveled, when I, would wash my hands with it or put in my water or just smell it, I didn't get as sick, even though people were coughing right on me sitting on the airplane. And so I diffuse it, if not 1 or 2 times a day. I put it in my water and all these different ways. And it's just, to me, one of the most precious, because definitely for me, like I was telling Angie this earlier, like work a lot, and then I can crash very easily. So this just one reminds me, well, Serenity helps keep me calm and make me sleep. But this does, when I could start to feel I'm a little run down, okay, I know, okay, I need some sleep and On Guard. Those are the two things that I need. And it always helps when I start to feel something in my throat, just kind of putting some on. And love how they have multiple ways you can use On Guard. There's laundry detergent, there's cleaning solution, there's hand wash, there's toothpaste. So it's like, why not boost your immunity all day long, especially in the things that carry some of the most chemicals, like our cleaning supplies, right?
Yeah. And the new sanitizing hand spray. I think Danielle was doing the
oh, and the spray. Sorry, I was looking at it. Yeah.
I think that's what that was.
Yeah. My spray is in the mail. It's not here yet. But anyways, yeah. But just like that, just like all the time. And I love the research that recently came out at convention around just the microbiologists, right? Just doing a study of when they actually looked at the cellular level and the biology of it, that bacteria couldn't withstand On Guard. And I was like, whoa, yes, like there's research to this experience that we have. Because some people are fine with just experience, and then some people want to know the research, right? And it's just so good that this company does provide both.
And I just got word, I don't know if I've even shared with you, but Johns Hopkins has been doing some research with doTERRA with On Guard in regards to the superbug, fighting off superbugs. And we did just get the word that it has approval to be published. So we will be seeing that hopefully in the very near future. Wow. With what you're saying, like it's very powerful stuff. Not just the research doTERRA is doing, but with a number, they have over 100 affiliates with these top-notch hospitals and universities. So can I share another one that I love real quick?
Yeah, we're each going to do one more.
Okay.
Look for mine over here.
I'll just do, it's not the most exciting or the best smelling oil in the world. Like Elevation, love it. Emotionally impacts you and it smells so awesome. But Melaleuca is my most used. I use at least a bottle of this a month because I use it for so many things. And this is one I feel like for me has truly helped me to reduce our family's toxic load. I use it in my laundry detergent that I make now. I use it just for simple things like skin blemishes or our son fell today outside, tripped over a stick or, some boy injury that he got being a kid. And this is what we'll use after we clean the wound, with water if there's dirt in it or anything like that. We'll put Melaleuca oil on there just to kill off its antibacterial, antifungal, antiseptic, going to really kill off anything that would be there that you wouldn't want to have. And so with those chemical properties, it's also great for cleaning, even cleaning your bathroom. And people get weirded out, I think, sometimes hearing me say, in my bathroom with essential oils. Well, if you look at the chemical makeup of the oils, it's antiseptic. So you can clean your bathroom with this, and it is going to kill off things that you will find there that you're trying to accomplish with Lysol or some of these other very toxic, harmful chemicals and very harsh chemicals. So I use it to make cleaning products. I use it even just it's great for your skin, great for your nails. I put it around my fingernails just for nail health. So many different uses of it, but that's one that I would really recommend everybody have in their home for sure.
What about you, Danielle?
Well, On Guard was actually my next, because you know me, that's the one I first started using after I signed up. I was traveling for work through Luxembourg, and I was taking the On Guard, but it was the beadlets, which I have here. And these little powerful things just seem to help me ward off any airborne bugs or viruses that you may pick up while you're traveling. Going from Cayman to Luxembourg, it took, I think, something ridiculous like 13 or 14 hours to get there. But the proof really was just for me in using the On Guard and keeping my immune system up and healthy and strong. So I hadn't been sick for probably 9 months. And the minute I stopped taking the On Guard, I noticed a difference in my system. So just like you, I guess On Guard would be the next top oil.
So
or
good.
blend of oils.
Yeah. So for me, lemon. So many reasons. So as Angie was talking about, Melaleuca is really great for cleaning, and so is lemon. I use both together. And then the laundry detergent that actually Angie showed us the recipe for, we have Melaleuca and lemon in there as well. And I actually have it in the spray bottle, so it's easy to clean the bathroom with it and everything with water. But also, even from a nutritional point of view, like knowing how important our gut health is. And it's very important to me that I don't like anything going wrong. And it happens, but I just love to keep it regularly cleaned and working well. Since most of our immune system is in our gut. And this is such a beautiful diuretic that just kind of helps gently cleanse your system, gently get things through. And so I use it daily in my water, usually in the morning, maybe mid-afternoon, maybe at night, just to kind of cleanse that. And it's just so powerful that you really only need to drop two. And I love the tip. I think Angie gave us this tip a couple of years ago, like maybe last year when you were here teaching, just around using it in stainless steel and glass, because it can literally, it recognizes, oh, this is foreign. I'm going to break it down. So styrofoam, it'll break it down. Plastic, it will break it down. And that just means when we actually did the little test, it was like, whoa, this is powerful. So if I'm putting this gently and cautiously, because I know a lot of people internally, they're kind of weirded out with that as well, in my water, and I can just see the difference and feel the difference, even from a immune system point of view and gut health. So love lemon. All right. So we could literally talk here all night, but we know we need to wrap up. So I think we may have lost Danielle on it. She'll jump back. So maybe Angie, just as we wrap up, can you tell us a little bit more about, just how people can get in contact with you if they want to learn more about anything you have going on, clinic, oils, or even natural birth?
Yeah. So first of all, I just love meeting new people. I mean, that was a joy to go down to Cayman and meet you, Brianna, and Danielle through you, and just all the people all over the world that we've been able to meet as a result of sharing the oils. So I would love to hear from anybody that wants to ask me really anything. A couple things that I do want to mention. I am, like I said, really working on kind of the behind the scenes setup for getting this natural birth coaching out to the world. I mean, I do it locally, but I'm working on getting a good system down for sharing online. So if you're interested in that, feel free to just send me an email, and I'll share my email address here in a second. I'll spell it out for you, and I think Brianna can link it. But I would love to share that information with you when it becomes available, if that's something that you're interested in. And then the other exciting thing that is in the works, and I really don't have a specific set timeline, but I am working on a book that I'm writing specifically to moms who want to work from home. And, whatever level, like Danielle had shared, one of her goals with doTERRA is just to be able to cover the use of her oils so that that's not a monthly expense for her. The book will be a little bit more geared toward women that you want this to be whatever it is, whether it's, one job, two, but this is your primary, you're making the large chunk of your income in this way. And just really, how do you balance that? For us, we're planning on homeschooling. So we're not even looking to, our kids will go off to school and then I'll be able to focus more time, like they're going to be here. So how do I just balance all of that? So if you're interested in getting more information about the book, I would just invite you to email me as well, and I can put in a little list that I'll send out. And then I would just say, if I've been working, like if you're a friend of mine and I'm sending you the link and you're viewing this, feel free to just get in touch with me personally about using the oils. But otherwise, I would just like to support Brianna and Danielle are both on my team. with doTERRA, and we share the oils together. So feel free to reach out to me individually, but I would just invite you to go through their direct links as well for doTERRA oils. So, so my email address is my name, Angie O'Toole, ANGIEOTOOL @gmail.com. That's probably at this point the best and easiest way to get in touch directly with me.
Awesome. Yes. Thanks so much for sharing that. Yes. I didn't know that's what your book was on. I knew you were writing a book.
Yes.
That's amazing. So good. That's needed.
Yes.
That's needed.
Yeah, I wish I had it to read. I was like,
I know.
I have to take all these experiences to write it. So hopefully people appreciate.
Well, I know who I'm going to when I have kids. So I'm going to go to you for multiple things. But yeah, and then I'll just kind of share Danielle, since I know a little bit about that. Danielle, you can find her on her Facebook page, The Powder Room. And remember, she does do amazing makeup. She did my makeup for an event I did last year, as well as massages. And of course, the oils. She's sharing about the oils on Powder Room because they go hand in hand for her. And so you can find her at facebook.com/ I think Powder Room KY. Just I'll link that in, but I think that's where you can go, and even just message her. She's on Instagram a lot, so look for Powder Room on Instagram, and you could direct messenger her. And then for me, yeah, if you're watching this, you're probably in contact with me somehow. But you can either email me, go on my Facebook page, Madewell345, or email me madewellky@gmail.com. Or I have multiple different ways to educate you all. I just recently started a free education group because I really felt that God is calling me to empower people more in that way. And so if you are like already using doTERRA, or you're thinking about using essential oils, that's a perfect place to learn. So I'll have all the links in there. I'll even link Essential Oils 101 webinar for you guys, for those who are wanting to learn more. So yeah, I think Danielle might have dropped out with the internet, but she's around. So thank you so much, Angie.
Oh, thank you.
It was so fun. Thank you.
Yes, it was.
And then Danielle, when you join back, thank you as well. So thanks everyone for watching and listening. Be sure to check the show notes for more details and the blog post with all the links. So thanks.